Hi guys, let's have a look at Managing Compliance Assessment Task 3, the case studies for managing compliance. This is the first and only set of case studies you'll be doing for this cluster. So let's get straight into it. We'll go to Preview Quiz. So with this set of case studies, what we're particularly looking at is how to maintain a safe environment for staff and for children, and also looking at managing staff, so making sure that as a business we are actually compliant with our safety requirements as well. So you'll find that there's a number of case studies that are looking at that sort of area. So you can also see that there are only 8 case studies for this particular section. So it's really important that you read quite clearly through the case studies, that you gather as much information from them as possible, that you look at if there's a particular case study or section of information that they're looking for. So for case study 1, it's talking about a child called Archie, and then the first question is in regards to Archie. So you only really need to consider the information in the scenario that is related to Archie. So as you work your way through, you'll see that there are some longer case studies with multiple questions. So make sure that you are covering each question and completing each question. And there are some smaller ones with small amounts of information. And that goes all the way through. I'm just going to take you to case study 5. I just want to go through this case study so that you're clear on what you need to do. So this one here is really looking, as it says, at complacency. So looking at staff becoming complacent and the management having to maybe do some retraining or organising to make sure that the service is being compliant with the safety. So it goes through here in dot point a list of concerns that the service is having, so that there has been some incidents with children, and it usually occurs outdoor or late in the afternoon. That most of the injuries or near misses are involving staff when they're setting up or packing away equipment outside. That most of the injuries are occurring to staff under 25. That most of the common form of injury was children who fall, and the most common form of injury to staff was entrapment of fingers, dropping objects on their feet or straining their back. So then it gets you to think about it from the director Trish's point of view, and she's got an overall view of wanting to reduce accidents by 50%. So Trish, the director, is now trying to develop an effective strategy and an action plan to get the reduction of 50% in regards to accidents at the service. So then you've got to answer the questions on that. So desired outcomes. So you've got to think of yourself as being Trish. So what are the desired outcomes for Trish? So to describe them in there. What strategies might you undertake, or might Trish undertake, to best find a solution? How could you undertake existing policies and procedures? So how would you need to reflect on existing policies and procedures before you would move forward with what you would do as a director to manage the situation? And what type of factors do you think are contributing? And I want you to list quite a few there. So I want to make sure you're getting as much information in these sections as possible and not just giving us one answer. What are the training needs for the staff, and what criteria would you be using to evaluate? So with that one, what exactly would it be your follow-up plan? So what would you be looking at? What time frames? Those sorts of things as to what you would be looking as an action plan to actually evaluate whether you're getting that reduction in accidents and whether your action plan is actually working. So once you've completed all of those assessments as per usual, you just send that through to your assessor via the submit button, and that will get graded for you. Thanks.